Bork. Bork, bork, bork. Oh, what a dreadful translating device. It can't even translate my beautiful borks correctly. I just wanted some chicken. Oh, I didn't see you there, young ones. You humans seem to be quite incapable of technology, so I'm going to improve your knowledge of the world. And I have produced this magnificent piece of work too. Welcome to this new Crash Course video. Our topic for today will be on agriculture, or more importantly, the agricultural revolutions of mankind. Let's begin on the beginning of agriculture. Before the first agricultural revolution, humans relied on hunting animals and gathering fruits and berries from trees in order to eat. Of course, they could eat each other, but I'm sure that we're past that point. Oh dear, back again, humans. We're finally back on track. All I needed was a rag and a teaspoon of chloroform. That last human put up quite a fight. Kind of strange for the human Andrew. Now that that's been dealt with, let us carry on. What is the definition of agriculture? Agriculture is farming, something you humans have mastered long ago. However, us dogs are still incapable of such things. How unfortunate. But let us stay on task. We shall now move on to the agricultural revolutions of humankind. Firstly, everything began with the Fertile Crescent. Yes, farming, society, and trade began here. This was the first piece of arable land that the humans found. The Fertile Crescent was around a river. River valleys would become the main locations for thriving civilizations. The Egyptians, the Romans, the Chinese, you name it. Let's get down to business though. Now let us learn the facts and terminology of agriculture. Agriculture is actually the largest and most important industry in the world, employing approximately 45% of the world's population. Think about that, 3 billion people farming! Farming, or husbandry, is the cultivation of plants, fungi, and other life forms for food, fuel, fiber, and other fine products used in everyday life. Before I start, ask yourself this question. How did your food become what it is now? The answer? 3 agricultural revolutions. Think about it, almost as many revolutions as the French! Before the first revolution, mankind survived by hunting animals to eat and by gathering berries and fruits from forests. They hunted and gathered, and so humans, with their logic and limited creativity, named them hunter-gatherers. I would have named them collectors, but I guess that's my personal opinion. Around 10,000 BC, these hunting-gathering nomads transitioned to a sedentary lifestyle. Hate that word. However, this method proved to be quite inefficient. The crop yield was horrible, although many people worked on it together. Plus, don't forget about how crops looked like back then. Teosinte, an ancestor of corn, was 6 times smaller than modern-day corn and produced 71% fewer kernels than today's typical corn. The second agricultural revolution started off of the Industrial Revolution, approximately between 1700 and 1900. This was the time when technology became more and more advanced. Machines and fertilizers were introduced into the agricultural industry. Thus allowing higher crop yields and, in turn, allowing more people to be fed per farmer. Corn was also bigger at this point and would soon become the crop of the United States. The third agricultural revolution, also known as the Green Revolution, was a period of time when new agricultural practices were made to help farmers around the world end world hunger. Newer, higher yield seeds were introduced and fertilizers were widely used. These practices allowed farmers to produce more products with less land. Biotechnology also sprang up in conjunction with the third agricultural revolution. This led to genetically engineered products designed to convenience the farming process in their own specific way.
I'm a scientist, and I'm going to genetically modify the seeds.
For better or for worse, either way, it allowed farmers to grow more in a shorter amount of time, increasing efficiency.
I'm genetically modified.
Before I delve into the wonders of different foods and their origins, I would like to start with the two different forms of agriculture: intensive and extensive agriculture. In short, intensive agriculture is when one forces a land with a high input of crops, which produces a high output of produce. Extensive agriculture, on the other hand, is a form of farming where the machinery uses more land with a lower yield, which produces around the same amount with intensive agriculture. So why there's a need to have different ways of farming to have the exact same yields is beyond me. There are actually two types of agriculture: subsistence farming and industrialized agriculture. For subsistence farming, the people farm solely for themselves. Subsistence agriculture can be grouped into three techniques: intensive subsistence, where subsistence farming expends large amount of effort to get higher crop yields; pastoral nomadism, which is farming based on moving animals from place to place; and slash and burn fire fallow cultivation, in which farmers slash and burn plants to make fertilized space called a swidden. When it comes to industrialized agriculture, otherwise known as commercial farming, these funny farming folks sell their harvest to companies and industries to sell to the commercial world. There is plantation farming, livestock ranching, Mediterranean agriculture, dairy farming, mixed crop and livestock farming, grain farming, and fruit farming. Plantation farming is growing a lot of crops for profit.
Hey man,
Hey.
you heard that?
Hey, yeah. It's $100.
Oh, alright.
All
That's
right.
cool. That's $100.
$100.
Yeah, cool.
Livestock ranching is common in temperate, dry regions, in which herds of animals are raised on large tracts of land.
Man, this land is so big. I got so many animals to feed and herd. Oh! Damn, another whale.
Mediterranean agriculture is characterized by a mild, humid winter with no or very little frost, and a warm, dry summer.
Damn. The winter is so mild and humid here. And the summer, it's so dry and warm.
Farming is intensive, highly specialized, and varied in the kinds of crops raised. Mixed crop and livestock farming is a farming method in which crops and livestock live together in harmony. Animals help the plants by pooping on them, but one downside would be that the animals might ruin the crops.
Hey, my pineapple and my bear are growing together. Yeah.
Dairy farming is just what it sounds like. It is focused on producing milk.
Come on, man. You got some milk feeding to do.
Roar.
The rest of the farming methods are pretty self-explanatory.
Shoot, where the shot? I don't know what to rate about that.
Now, as we all know, different regions around the world have different types of crops. In other words, our region typically has its most famous crop. Southwest Asia is most well known for barley, wheat, lentils, and olives. The landscape and climate in East Asia makes it easy to grow rice and millet, a cereal crop. The people in Central Asia follow their livestock around as seasons change. In other words, they're nomads. Finally, in Latin America, beans, potatoes, and corn grow in abundance. Sustainability, the act of sustaining. When you farm, you must be aware of all factors, including how to keep the land arable and healthy without using all of its resources and minerals up. This can be achieved by not overusing the land, not using too many chemicals, fertilizers, and pesticides on the crops and soils, and not adding too much water, unless you want to turn it into mud, in which case, go ahead.